Hey everyone, Jake Walter, 5 Star Real Estate. Today I just wanted to give you an update, bring you up to speed on what's happening in the Grand Rapids market. We just finished the third quarter of 2025, of course. Numbers have been great for me this year. It's been a good year, but what do the actual numbers show us? When we look at the sales, when we look at average sales price, what does that show us? And I'm going to look at compared to last year at this time. So if you're considering buying or selling a home, I'd love for you to listen to this. I've got a few tips for you. And I've also got one thing that I just think buyers are getting wrong in this market and how to avoid it. So again, we just finished the third quarter. So July, August, September, I had to think about which months those were. July, August, and September. We're obviously into October now. So average sale price for our third quarter of 2025, and this is for the greater Grand Rapids area. So we're talking Grand Rapids and the surrounding areas, so maybe, north, south, east, west, 20-ish miles, 15 miles, something like that. A little bit outside of Kent County, but what our MLS really serves, the majority of the homes there. So average sale price for the third quarter of 2025 was $405,000. That was average list price. Average sales price was just under $404,000. So don't let that scare you. Many of my buyers, I work with a lot of first-time buyers. Not any of my first-time buyers are looking at that price, but that's just the average. Certainly, there's some that are well above that. Certainly, there's some that are well below that. So again, average list price was just under $405,000. Average sales price was just under $404,000, and that's for there was just under 3,000 homes. It was actually 2,951, I think, for those 3 months. So we're looking at 980 or so a month. So it's a pretty good sample size. So let's compare that to 2024 third quarter. Average list price for 2024 was just over $383,000. And average sale price was just over $384,000. So just a little bit over list price. So compare 2024 numbers in the third quarter to 2025 numbers in the third quarter, and we're up about 5%. So a pretty modest increase. 2, 3, 4 years ago, we were seeing increases much higher than that. So it's nice to have just a slow increase. So if you're buying, it's really a good time. I think it's a good time to buy. If you're selling, prices are still going up a little bit, so it's still a good time to sell also. So here's a couple tips. I promised a couple tips. Here's a couple tips for my buyers out there. First thing, we want to get you pre-approved for a home, for a mortgage. We don't want you out looking at homes until you know what you can get qualified for. That's really our key thing. We want to know what you'll qualify for, and we'll want to know if you're comfortable with the payments at that qualification price. If not, we can dial that back down. You don't have to buy for what you're qualified for. So key thing, get pre-approved. Use your local lender, your local bank, your local credit union. If you don't have someone, I've got someone that I can refer you to that will do just a great job for you. Second thing, once you have your pre-approval, just be ready. Be ready to make a move. If you find the right house, you see it online, let's go see it. If we go see it and it's the right one, let's make a move on it. Let's not wait, because probably other people are thinking that's the right house for them too. And last thing, we just need to talk, realtor to buyer, realtor to consumer. We need to talk about what we can do to structure that offer so that it gives you the best chance of getting it accepted, but also protects you. Things like inspections and close dates and possession time. We just want to talk through that and structure it so that we're putting the best foot forward. So some great tips for my buyers. What about sellers in this market? What do my sellers need to do? First thing, I think this is key. A lot of people don't do this as much as they should, but I think that we need to get the house ready to sell by staging it, by decluttering it, by just preparing it as best as we can. That doesn't necessarily mean spending tens of thousands of dollars to get your home ready, but it does mean, we want it to look like a magazine. Like when we see the pictures, that's the buyer's first impression. We want it to look just as best as it can. That doesn't mean remodeling kitchens and repainting the whole house and, those types of things. But I'd love to stop over, talk to you. I also work with a stager. I send a stager through. I pay for her time, just to give you some extra advice, on what we can do to get the house ready. And a lot of times that's just, hey, let's just declutter. Let's get a lot of the extra stuff out of the home. Let's rearrange some furniture. Let's just get rid of, if we've got 3 couches in the living room, maybe we don't need 3 couches. Maybe we just need 1 or 2. Those types of things. So let's just get that house ready. The second thing, of course, is it seems like a no-brainer, but we need to price it correctly. We don't just throw a price out there. We don't just look at Zillow. We need to price it correctly. And that's where I come in. That's something else that I can do. I do a detailed analysis of your home. I'm going to look at the other comparables. I'm also going to look at the inside photos of the other homes. If yours has had a bunch of updates over the past 5 years and your neighbors haven't done anything, obviously that's going to affect your value. And same if your neighbors have done a bunch of updates and you haven't, that's going to negatively affect your value. But we want to price it correctly. So some great tips for our sellers, great tips for the buyers. I did promise you one thing that I think that buyers actually are getting wrong in this market. I've had a lot of buyers that tell me, I'm going to wait until the market or until the interest rate drops. Once the interest rate drops, then I'm going to buy. The problem with waiting till the interest rate drops or waiting till it's the absolute lowest, of course we don't know it's the absolute lowest until it's starting to go up again. But the problem with that is our prices start to go up when the rates go down. The reason is rates go down, buyers have more buying power, they're willing to write a little bit higher in order to get that house. And all of a sudden we have more buyers in the market and prices just start to go up. So if you wait till the interest rates are at their lowest, you're probably going to be paying more for the home than if you bought it, before those rates dropped. One thing you can do is, let's say 6 months later, 12 months after you purchase your home, the rates drop enough to make a difference in your payment, you can always refinance your loan. Just depends on how much it drops. You wouldn't refinance necessarily, if it's only dropping 0.25%, but if it's dropping enough to make a big difference, a lot of my buyers are going to end up doing that. Don't wait until the rates drop to their absolute bottom. When you're ready to buy, don't wait. It's a good time to buy. So again, if you're thinking about buying a home, if you're thinking about selling a home, reach out to me, call me, text me, send me a message. I would love to be able to help you. I'd love to be able to sit down and chat with you, go over some of these things that we talked about and some other things, and just help you on that next stage of your life. So give me a call or reach out to me by message. Again, thanks for watching this video. Please hit subscribe. I'm going to try and do another video, at least 1 or 2 a week, just to keep people updated on the market, keep you updated just on the Grand Rapids area, and just anything real estate related.